All right, folks, a lot of talk about recession and what to do with your portfolio. We've been doing it here a lot, but you know, FT actually had an article and, well, they were making fun with this. They were saying how to drink your way through a recession. Now, it might be tongue-in-cheek, but I think we aren't focused enough on the true economic pain that's already out there. Want to welcome in Big Money Show co-host Taylor Riggs, along with the Federalist election correspondent Brianna Lyman. And you know, listen, recession, people change. It's tough. You know, we just heard Daniel DiMartino Booth talking about one of the few areas where they have job increases are for therapists. You know, so people are really bracing for, I think, or already in a tough situation.
You know, you can look at consumer behavior for one, but Charles, I thought about you as well because I woke up and overnight I had Paramount laying off 15% of their workforce, Eventbrite saying they're cutting 100 jobs, Fastly cutting 11% of their global workforce, and then Cisco just in the last couple hours saying that they want to do a similar layoff, about 4,000 people, than what they did in February. So I think you're right that we're sort of preparing for what this recession will be. How consumers respond is another story, but from the corporate side, I think certainly people are tightening up their belts.
Right.
Maybe tightening up their drinking too.
You know, depression comes along with this, economic downturns.
Yeah, depression also comes along with alcohol, so you're kind of killing two birds with one stone by cutting back. I actually don't drink alcohol, so I have saved on that front.
What are you going to get, like wheat germ? What are you,
so
what are you
I actually,
depressed?
look, I'm a big lemonade girl, so when I'm feeling stressed, I get lemonade, but I cut back costs by making my own. And unfortunately, my generation doesn't understand the concept of saving money, so they go out and spend recklessly. Come Sunday.
You set me up perfectly. You set me up perfectly. All right, so I saw this one. I call it the American Dream meets the American Dream. It's an article that suggests Gen Z buying homes for things like likes and content. They say it could be good for the aesthetics of your personal brand. Brianna, so forget about raising a family and the white picket fence. Buy a home and start posting pictures.
Charles, this is the problem with my generation. Everyone sees things on TikTok, social media that's shiny and new, and they don't think about the real life cost. And those real life costs are super high mortgage rates. And you know, you think back to 2007, 2010, you had the subprime mortgage crisis that was fueled in part by banks giving loans to people who couldn't afford them, or told them, you got this. And they're telling that to my generation. So people are buying homes that they can't afford, coupled with loans from school debt and other, problems that they have to pay for. They can't afford this, and it's going to crumble in a few years.
You know, Taylor, I thought it was smarter when they were just using like the toilet seats against the window and act like they were in a private jet. Like this is a little bit more expensive to look cool.
Here's what if I push back on you and say the why behind buying the home doesn't matter as long as you can afford it and you are building equity? Maybe that is a good thing. I agree with you. The why isn't good.
Brianna is just saying maybe they can't afford it.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they're getting over their head. All right, so I did a hit earlier today on Fox News, and somebody picked it up on Twitter, and Democrats are mad at me. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz owns nothing. He owns no stocks, bonds, crypto, real estate, index funds, mutual funds, private equities, real estate account, and he sold his house when he became governor. But he has visited Beijing a lot, including honeymooning in Beijing. Here's the question. Do we trust someone who doesn't seem to trust the notion of investing or ownership?
No. My thought is if you look at the United States economy as a business, the CEO of that business is the president. I want someone with business experience. It doesn't have to be Donald Trump, anyone, right, with business experience, or appoint the right people with business experience. Because if this is like a company, you have to balance your budgets. You have to balance the income statement and the balance sheet, right? Income and revenue, all of that. So I want to make business fun again. I know you try to do that on your program. Let's have people come into here that are smart.
There was a big push to own nothing from the left. Going into the pandemic, the pandemic blew them up because people say, you know what, I don't want to live in a building with 48,000 people touching the buttons. I do want to own my own house. I do want to own my own car. I do want to learn how to preserve food, right? This was already a movement in this country that we should not want to own anything, have a sharing society.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Walz is the same person who said, someone's socialism is another person's neighborliness. He endorses this idea of this collectivism where nobody has individual ownership. And I think what's indicative of him not owning stocks is he's financially illiterate. And when Minnesota got money from the COVID relief program, what did the governor spend it on? Murals, movie theaters, parking for state employees. I bet if you asked a Minnesotan if they wanted extra money in their pocket, even if it's $2, they would have said yes. And so it goes to your point. He doesn't know what to do with money.
And the best place to ask them is on the exit out the state, because everyone's left that state. Every income bracket below 25,000 has left the state, net. Got to talk about this. We talk about this, people pushing back on college. And so right now, only 36% of Americans have a lot or quite a bit of confidence in college. But here, this is what I want to talk about. This was surprising to me. the number one reason was political agendas. That even eked out the fact that there was the wrong focus or they don't teach the right things. Brianna, are you surprised by this?
No, I graduated college in 2020, and I'm lucky that I ended up more conservative than I started, and I was at Fordham. And I think, unfortunately, Republicans see this as a partisan issue. They see people being infiltrated with left-wing thought ideology. But I also think you don't get bang for your buck anymore. You know, you grow up and you go to college, you think it's going to traditionally correlate with a higher income. It doesn't anymore.
But that's the wrong focus thing. But the political agendas part is what caught me off.
I don't like that, which is why you've seen a big push to trades, make some of the trade schools great again.
Right.
I'm also a huge fan of college as long as there is a job on the other end of that to pay off the student loans. But if you're going to college to do a liberal arts degree or a gender studies degree that has no payoff, no job, then I agree. It's sort of become this political thing and people don't really have a plan on the other side of that.
You think it's hard to take politics out of these schools a little bit after what's happened in the last year?
Follow the money. Only if we sort of cut back on the funding of what we give these elite universities, only then do they wake up.
All right, ladies, we covered a lot of stuff. Good stuff.
I know.
Thank you all
Drinking
very, very
to
much.
universities.
All right. And by the way, folks, make sure you catch Big Money every day here at Fox Business at 1 p.m. Eastern.